All I want for the holidays this year is some NBA action. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets just for betting $5. An instant dub just for you.
The Lakers have a tough stretch coming up. Boston on Christmas, couple road games against the Timberwolves. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on these lines to see how DraftKings thinks LeBron and them boys are going to stack up.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Jenkins, Jenkins. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Jenkins. The crown is yours. Welcome to Jenkins and Jonez on the Volume Podcast Network. It is Thursday, December 28th, and you are listening to one of those ones. Go ahead and pause the podcast and go take a poop right now because we don't want you to shit yourself on this episode.
Let's pray one of us does it for you.
Yeah, I was about to say, we might be that core demographic right there. Goddamn.
I took me a good 20 minutes before we started, baby, just to make sure. You feel me? Had to clear it all out.
That's LeJethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John, and Dragonfly Jones, a.k.a. Tyler. I'm Gardy B, a.k.a. Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
We're produced, as always, by the lovely and talented Jackson Saffon, who does not get his intro because he is not participating in today's podcast.
That punishes us, though.
Should.
That's punishing us.
Okay, the lovely and talented Jackson Saffon.
What's up? I apologize for not participating in the egg challenge.
Okay.
Can you explain the egg challenge?
Please, youtube.com/@JenkinsandJones.
This is a must. It's a must for this episode.
You're probably going to want to watch the episode today. Someone gave us the gift of saying that it was impossible to eat 30 eggs on the internet last week. It was all any of us thought about during Christmas. I couldn't barely pay attention as we were opening presents with the kids. Or, spending time with our families or whatever.
The 3 hours it took for your kids to open up all the presents because you went crazy?
It took 2.5 hours. it was a busy morning in the Gardabasio household. We're doing everything we couldn't do, right? So we are all three of us, gentlemen, please. We're all three of us eating a dozen eggs as the show is happening today. To show the ease with which, look at Tyler.
What you got over there, Tyler? You making pancakes at the motherfuckers?
I fried my eggs, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Fried them. Yep.
Double fold reasons here. For one, I feel like a fried egg is the most efficient way to mass consume an egg, right? Because I'm gonna just eat these. I'm gonna just fold these motherfuckers up and Joey Chestnut these bitches. 2 bites, right?
You frying them hard? You frying them hard?
No, not too hard. Well, the yolks aren't runny. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The yolks are solid. So yeah, I'm just Joey Chestnut these motherfuckers. This is just 24 bites of eggs I got here. And for one, I wanted to be transparent, not with y'all, because I know y'all trust me and y'all know I trust y'all. But I know there's gonna be some haters out there like, nah, y'all ain't eat 12 eggs. Well, yeah, you say that because you never won anything. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna count out these motherfucking eggs right now, okay? That's 1. That's 2.
You gonna kill me. You gonna make me die of choking on these motherfucking eggs.
That's 5.
You never won anything.
That's 6. That's 7. That's 8.
Oh, this thing is
9. 10. 11, 12. Okay.
If you all don't go to youtube.com/@JenkinsandJones right now, this is the episode.
This is the one.
Okay, now actually, before we start eating,
I've already started eating, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's okay. Before I begin eating, I do need Dragonfly Jones to bless us with the singing of the "I Love Eggs" song.
Well, let me tell the audience a little something about this little ditty that's been on my heart for just about all my life here. There was a time when I was a kid, just a little youngin', and I saw a commercial, and it was a commercial by like the National Egg Farmers of America or some shit. And they were trying to sell us on the nutritional value of eggs. And they had a little ditty that's been in my heart, like I said, all my life. And it goes like this. I love eggs from my head down to my legs. The incredible edible leg. Bro, like I said,
Thank you, Tyler.
like y'all always know, bro.
I love that you say eggs.
I annoyed, motherfuckers think I say eggs and shit. Like people get on the way I say eggs, but who the fuck says eggs?
Country. I say
Yeah, right.
Eggs.
You see eggs.
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 Am I saying eggs? Eggs.
I say eggs.
I guess it is eggs. Maybe it is eggs. Yeah.
Who the fuck talks like the eggs? I'm gonna eat some eggs today.
You want some eggs, bro? Bro, you got some eggs? You got a dozen eggs, bro? You know what I mean? I think it's. I don't know. You're right. I'll give it to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So each one of us is doing a dozen eggs except for Jackson, because he's in a hotel.
Jackson, how does it feel?
He's in a hotel with no room service.
Jackson, how does it feel to be the Spartan who stayed at home while the other Spartans went to fight the Persians?
It's a little sad. I feel a little left out, but it's my own choice. So, I got to live with my decisions.
You're a prepubescent.
I've earned the
Spartan.
clowning. It's okay.
All right.
I'm proud of y'all.
Thank you, sir.
We each have a variant of egg. Tyler fried his eggs. My wife made eggs and rice. She's part Asian. We eat a lot of eggs and rice. Her dad grew up in Hawaii, so we eat a lot of eggs and rice. She actually does for New Year's. She does like a multiracial New Year's breakfast. So she does black-eyed peas, collard greens, Hoppin' Jack or so, I forget the name of it.
Hoppin' John.
Hoppin' John.
Yeah.
And then eggs and rice. So it's like a full every side of her family. We invite all our family over and eat a lot. It's truly amazing. All right.
I'm glad she does collards instead of mustard greens. Mustard greens is trash.
Important
to me, bro.
distinction.
That's not for us.
Bro.
And let's not even talk about how trash turnip greens are.
Turnip greens are. Why do they even exist, bro? You know what I mean? If it ain't collards, don't even cook the greens. You know what I'm saying? We don't want them. Damn. Those important motherfuckers too. But go ahead.
We got. John. We'll invite you over, bro. You should come for that. We do family and close friends and stuff for sure. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Last night, the Detroit Pistons set the new single season
Detroit Pistons.
Our Detroit Pistons. I'm sorry.
Sentimental favorites of the podcast.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler.
We are the official podcast of the Detroit Pistons. And our Pistons lost their 27th consecutive game. It's a new single season record. Something else I want to bring up that I've not really seen a lot of in the coverage is, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, the Pistons also, in addition to now having the longest single season losing streak in NBA history, also currently have the longest losing streak in the playoffs that is active, and also the longest playoff game losing streak in the history of NBA. They have lost their last 14 consecutive playoff games.
When's the last time they went to the playoffs?
I don't know. The last time they won a game was 2007, 2008 against the Celtics.
I want to say they went a couple years in a row with Reggie Jackson as their young point guard,
okay.
And then they obviously got swept 3 years in a row.
That's a recipe for losing the playoffs. So.
Yeah,
He'll get you there. He ain't gonna get you
that's my
through
memory
nothing.
of it. Oh yeah, Blake Griffin got them there one year. That's right. Good call, Biko.
So they, so they're one shy of tying the record for longest losing streak period. The 76ers have a 28-game losing streak over 2 seasons from 2014 to 2016. But the longest single season streak ever, and I mean they're not they just lost the games they needed to win if they were gonna break the streak, because I don't think they're gonna do it against the Celtics. Respectfully, so gentlemen, your thoughts on the Pistons and what all the hell is going on in Detroit?
They got another one on Thursday with Brooklyn, correct?
No. The Tuesday game they just lost, where they were up in the fourth quarter, was the second game.
Oh, that was the second. Bro, it felt like that needed to be the one, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cade had 41, 9, and 5. You know what I'm saying?
Free that man.
Woo! I don't know. I still think the Raptors might be right for the picking, but it goes back to the thing that we discussed before. Like, no team wants to be the team to lose to these dudes. Like, the Raptors are gonna come out like this game 7. You know what I'm saying? So, it's gonna be a long. I mean, it already is a long season for Detroit Pistons fans, but y'all better lock in, buddy.
My brother had money on the game, and Mikal Bridges had 4 free throws to cover the spread and missed all 4. He thinks there's he thinks there's something afoot. You know what I mean? Mikal is like, he's been like close to 50, 40, 90 most of his career. He's like an 88, 89% free throw shooter. Misses 4. I don't know.
Did y'all see that clip of Gary Payton II?
When they won and he looked like they had lost because
because they didn't cover because of last second shot.
Yeah. I don't know, Kaka.
That was a really funny clip because if you have friends who bet on sports, like everyone's seen that face. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I got caught up in like rooting for the game. My team won.
Usually see
and then
fans.
You did the math.
Yeah.
You did the minus 3.5 in your head and realized, wait a minute.
Yeah. like Scott Van Pelt does a whole bad beats, segment where he covers shit like that. And you see faces like that from the fans all the time, but seeing it from a player, that's different, dog.
Hey, man. How illegal is it? Is it like you get kicked out the league illegal, or is it like you do jail time illegal?
I mean, long as you're not betting on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, as a professional athlete.
I mean, you give your homie the bread to bet on it type shit. Where we at with that?
I mean, I think that's the smart way to do it.
That's the only way to do it. But I'm saying, like, how illegal is that? Like, is that gonna get?
I mean, when we were on with the gambling guys with the volume, that's what they said. It's like it's so easy to circumvent the rules. It's kind of almost hard to be sympathetic for people who get caught doing it. You know what I mean? Because it's just as long as you don't do anything in your name. And I would say, like, we've talked about this on the pod. Like, I definitely think it's kind of bullshit that they're not allowed to gamble. It's like I don't know. It's a little bit to me like legalizing weed, but it was legalized for white people for 30 years first, right? Like, if the players are the ones creating the product that allows people to gamble on it, I understand there's like inside information, all this other stuff. And you have guys like, you wouldn't want Charles Barkley betting $10 million on a game he had inside information. Like, I get all that, but I don't understand why they wouldn't just do. My pitch on their pod was do an ombudsman, do like a person that handles it for each team, that you go to that person and make the bets. That way the league knows what you're betting. You're not betting on your games. Maybe even you say you're not allowed to bet on basketball, but you're allowed to bet on other professional sports, whatever else. But yeah, I mean, Gary Payton, like, that could very well have been oh shit, like, we won this game, but we didn't cover, and he just knows the spread. They're like pro athletes and coaches, a lot of them do follow that stuff closely. So it could just have been oh man, you know what I mean? Like, we blew that for
if you're betting
that for the Warriors fans.
If you're betting that you're gonna win, I don't really see an issue either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think like if you're betting on if you're putting this same amount of effort into the game, if you're betting to lose, I think there's an issue there. You know what I mean?
The whole Pete Rose defense, like Pete Rose said, he never gambled on his squad to lose. But I mean, you have no fucking way of knowing.
The issue with it is the insider trading aspect, which is like considered very serious because the whole point is, and we've discussed this. This is why there's replay. This is why officials are monitored the way they are. This stuff is supposed to be objective because if it's rigged, then it's illegal. It's a crime, right? So. John's already done with his bowl. You already ate the dozen?
Nigga, I'm gonna eat this apple. That's crazy, dog. I'm surprised in myself, honestly.
We're only 10 minutes into the pod. I'm like halfway done with my first plate.
I could have ate like probably another 6 to 12.
I only got 2 of these motherfuckers left, and I got some bacon for dessert. So
here's my dessert.
This is the best podcast in the world.
Neither one of these men is sweating. You know what I mean? I've been slowing myself down because I'm eating all this rice too. But this
Bro, like I thought 30 eggs might be like a multi-hour job. It might be a one-sitting job. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I think it's a challenge to do it in one sitting, but possible. You know, but she said you couldn't do it in a waking day. Come on, bro.
She ain't met a real nigga before. That's so
scared.
hard. That's so
I am
hard.
scared to think about the amount of eggs I can eat in a 24-hour period now. After
now I'm scared. Now I'm scared after smacking them 12. Like.
That might have to be. We might have to do that as a pod, like a 24 hours of Le Mans. Just like carve out a day on a Sunday or something and just sit down during the playoffs and during the NCAA tournament. You know what I mean? Pick a Saturday or a Sunday, just sit down and like, how many eggs could we get through?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do a vlog. You know what I'm saying? See how check the numbers. We might do it again. You feel me?
Oh my God! All right. Well, I would like to introduce a new segment that we are going to do as long as the Detroit Pistons losing streak is active. Gentlemen, are you familiar with Japanese death poems? Have we discussed this on the pod?
Are they suicide poems though?
They're not suicide poems. Although the genre does include poems written by samurai before they committed seppuku, which is honor form of suicide or whatever.
Yeah. I know that from anime.
Oh, a man of culture. Well, I have here with me Joel Hoffman's collection of Japanese death poems. The Japanese death poem is a poem written by a poet, a samurai, someone who was aware that they were dying, and wrote a poem in their last moments of life. It's like a tradition in Japanese literature, and I find them to be incredibly beautiful and kind of perfect for the Detroit Pistons. So I'm going to read a poem first by a poet named Saikaku, who died on August 8th, 1730 at the age of 70. And he wrote...
That nigga was aching. For that time period? Jesus
I don't know.
Christ,
Japanese people
Japanese people
always
live
have
a-
a reputation of living long.
Japanese people
wait,
live-
wait.
Japanese
in the
people live a long,
1700s,
long
they
time.
lived to their 70s?
Like to their hundreds, bro. Like
Nigga, what?
yeah.
Shar has
That's like
multiple
biblical ages.
aunties and uncles that are in their like late 80s and 90s. They eat fish and
Like
rice,
now,
bro.
yeah, but I'm talking
And they
about
have
the
small
1700s,
frames.
nigga. That's
It's
crazy.
a
The
it's a
small
lot of
frame
people
does
in
help.
here. It's a lot of people here who lived to their 70s and 80s in the 16 and 1700s,
That's crazy.
and had an awareness of what their span of life was. That they woke up and were like, I don't think I'm going to bed tonight. let me sit down and write a poem and then fucking tip over.
The good old Fred Sanford. I'm coming to Georgia. It's the big one.
Oh man,
That's the cultural crossover that we can offer on Jenkins and Jonez, the medieval Japanese death poem to fucking Fred Sanford. That's exactly right. All right, this is from a poet called Saikaku who wrote. I'll read the Japanese for. These are haikus. They're not all haikus, but I'm reading from the haiku section because they're shorter. I'll read it in Japanese first and then the English translation. Tsukikage o kate ima iku jumon ri. I borrow moonlight for this journey of 1,000,000 miles.
Oh man, that's
Oh,
beautiful.
he did something with
Oh,
that
man,
one.
let me-
Wow.
No, I'm gonna
Can
read
you run it back? Can you run it back?
Run that back.
Okay, I
It deserves a
borrow
second
moonlight.
read.
Okay, okay.
for this journey of 1,000,000 miles.
That shit made me put my eggs down for a second.
His eggs.
damn.
Got to pull his eggs down.
Gotta put my motherfucking eggs down. God damn. That's beautiful, bro.
Okay, this is a
Are
21
these writers? Is this just a man that
yes,
just wrote this from his
these are
heart?
poets, but also like emperors, like people who were, it's there's a history of multiple religions in Japan, but for like Buddhist monks, these are Buddhist monks, these are poets, these are people who are aware enough of their lifespan to know. But every poem in this book, which is a pretty thick book, was documented to have been written usually in front of people on the day that the person died.
So, but this wasn't like a swordsmith that just
No, this
wrote
is
something
like
down. This is one of the ones.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay.
yeah. So yes. So this is a poet who probably had cancer. Somebody had a fatal illness. Died when he was 21 on February 5th, 1790. Wrote this is Sakyoku. And it says, Sakyoku died on the day of the equinox of spring, a day on which the Japanese hold ceremonies in remembrance of their ancestors. Cherry trees begin to bloom at about this time of year. And he wrote, Ara kanashi hana no higan o shide no tabi. How sad, amidst the flowers of the spring equinox, a journey deathward.
Deathward. I don't think I've ever heard that before. But
Never.
Should I do one more?
Yes.
hell yeah.
Hey, we could do a pod on these. Actually, I'm all the way locked in.
I mean, I think between each pod, however
I'm gonna
many
read
games
one
the
each.
Pistons
Okay,
lose
I'm
in
not going to do
between those,
27
see how
right
many
now,
we
but
read.
we'll do that.
Yeah, one.
Yeah,
No.
I like
But
it.
going
So this
forward,
is, if
going forward.
anyone's
They've lost too
interested
many
in this,
games
it's a
for that.
fascinating book, Japanese Death Poems. It's edited by Yoel Hoffman, which is an Israeli scholar who teaches and studies at the University of Kyoto, and it was published in conjunction with the University of Kyoto. Really a fascinating book. Teaches you a lot about how differently people in Japan feel about death. The idea of death there is that death is just nothingness. It's not a force or like someone that's coming to take you. It's just I think the first line of the intro is like, death may not be anything, but it is still obviously important because it's the end of everything that we know about. So this is a poet
So
called,
when he said millions, he meant infinite miles. Then knowing that it's nothingness.
the use of distance used in that poem, ri, is equivalent to about 4 kilometers. The distance given equals is 100,000 ri, which is like, approximately equivalent to 1,000,000 miles. It's a hyperbolic expression in Japanese culture for the length of the journey to the underworld or to the afterworld.
But because it's nothing, he means it's like just forever.
Right.
Okay.
But common phrase would be Jumonri is like 100,000 kilometers or whatever. All right. This is a poet called Saimu who died in 1679, sometime in his 70s. We don't have the exact age. In this poem, nights, blossoms, and the gates of paradise are all linked by the verb hiraku, to open, which can refer to the breaking of dawn, the blooming of flowers, or the opening of the gates of paradise. Yono akete hana ni hiraku ya jodomon. Dawn breaks and blossoms open, gates of paradise.
That's a little more optimistic than the other ones.
We're going to get there.
Still beautiful, though.
We're going to win a game. We're going to win a game. I can feel it, Detroit Pistons fans. My San Francisco 49ers on Christmas night lost the what people were calling the exit. Man, I got to catch up, y'all. We got to
catch up, buddy.
You're doing a lot of introing and reading.
I know it's a lot of segments here. It's a lot of segments later on that I will not be talking during. So we'll get to that. But first up, the Niners got shellacked by the Baltimore Ravens. Tough one. People were calling this as close to the all black versus all white bowl as we're going to get, which I personally think is disrespectful to Devo Samuel and Trent Williams, but I understand where it's coming from. Tyler, did you watch the game?
I don't know, man. Nick Bosa versus Lamar, like, bro, that's like those are like the two flagship guys for both causes right there. But yeah, I watched the game, and I'm curious where you're at with it, Mike, because I feel like, just from the outside looking in, and I know that there is a certain sense of, delusion that fans have where, they just, believe. And for sure, the San Francisco 49ers have been looking like that squad this season. But for me, that was just a game where it's like, bro, you're not really going anywhere with Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? Like, that was my takeaway from that. And it's not something that was just a revelation there. That was just like a confirmation. You know what I mean? So where are you at with it?
I am a Brock Purdy believer. And I was not a Jimmy G believer. Like, I'm not delusional about, like, this quarterback is the guy. Like, I'm actually probably more of a pessimistic person that way, which is why when you have athletes like Braun or someone who, like, I really believe in. But, like, I told y'all, I was not a Kobe fan for most of the time he was with the Lakers. You know what I mean? Was like, I don't, like, I wanted Shaq. Like, when Kobe and Shaq broke up, I was pissed we lost Shaq. Like,
when did you come around with Kobe? That's interesting. Like, for most of the time is a long amount of time.
When I really came around was when they gave him the contract that was like, we're gonna suck, but we want to give you as much money as you deserve. Like, towards the end of his career, and I was like,
the last 4 years of his career.
Jeez. I was like, I respect this. I mean, I enjoyed watching him play, but I felt like if you watch the Lakers in the 90s, 2000s Lakers, and you were rooting for Kobe to have the ball and not Shaq, you're a fucking lunatic in my view. You know what I mean?
He didn't even win you over with the back-to-back in 09, 2000.
That's what I was imagining.
Yeah, but even in the back-to-back, the whole time I was so angry at all my, especially my black friends who were Lakers fans who like hated Pau Gasol through that whole run of like, Pau's soft, like Kobe's trying to toughen him up. I was like, Pau is fucking amazing. Like,
they probably didn't watch Pau at all when he was playing for like the Grizzlies and shit like that. Pau was incredible.
Pau's whole career with the Lakers fans thought he was a pussy. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, Kobe's toughening him up.
Phil Jackson punched him on national television during a playoff game, dead in his fucking chest. We saw it. But I always contend that Powell was a casualty of the evolution of the game because no one's calling a dude who plays like Powell soft in 2023. That's how bigs play now, right? So Powell got a bad rap. Powell was fucking incredible.
But I was super happy for Kobe, but I had personal issues with him for the obvious reasons off the court. But, like, I was happier for Ron Artest and Powell, like, during those championships, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I really identify with Ron. I mean, that was like,
post game after that game 7. Where he I
cried, bro. I was like, I was emotional watching the post game with him. He's talking about his therapist.
Right, he shot out his therapist in 2010, like trailblazer, dog. You know
crazy, right?
You want to talk about shit that's different in 2023,
right? Yeah.
But he had the confidence to be like, no one's gonna call Ron Artest a bitch. Like,
facts. You're the only Lakers fan I've ever known that wasn't like a Kobe stan throughout his time with the Lakers. Like, I've never heard a single Lakers fan speak down on Kobe.
And I would add again, like, I love I mean, it's not that I like dislike watching. I love watching Kobe play basketball. I felt very lucky, but it just was like, I was when the Warriors first hit I was like, that's bad. Like, maybe it's like a little Republican roundball. I was like, well, they're moving the basketball. They're getting it to the open guy. Like, it was so much. I would sit there with Shar's dad, who grew up playing basketball in Hawaii, right? Like, everyone's under the rim. And it was just like, the ball just stops when it gets to him. It's like, let's move. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so when he scored 81, you were like, pass the rock. That's what you would say when Kobe was cooking? Swing it.
No, the 81 game was good. No, the 81. And y'all know I'm perfectly happy contradicting myself as a fan if it wins me an argument. I was going crazy for the 81 game. Obviously.
Yeah.
But it was also like, yeah, if you jack up a lot of shots and you have a game where you're hot, you're gonna score. You're gonna score a lot, you know. Anyway, so my point being, I'm not like oh, this guy's on my team, he's the guy. Like, Brock Purdy's gonna break the 49ers single season every passing record they have, and we've had some pretty good quarterbacks on the Niners, obviously. He's like
so much of that is yak though, dude.
No, but you know what? He's like, if you actually look at the stats, like the advanced analytics, and Mina Kimes has been very helpful on this because I don't follow a lot of the like super advanced stat people. His yak is like the yak on the Niners. People who want to make an anti-Brock Purdy argument use the raw numbers because the raw numbers are really high, but the raw numbers are high because we have a ton of passing yards. The like compared to his in-air yards. Compared to other quarterbacks is, I think, number 2 in the league. Like, he completes more downfield passes than anyone else in the league, too. And not like a lot of those open, like wide open. Yeah, for sure. But he's had a lot of like great throws, throwing guys open, anticipating cuts, like stuff like that. So I do believe in Brock Purdy. I think he had a shitty game. I think that, like, I don't know when the MVP race turned into the Heisman, that it's like if you have a shitty game, you're not going to get the MVP or something. Like, he's still by far statistically having the best year of any quarterback on a good team. Lamar Jackson, who is my favorite quarterback in the league who doesn't play for the 49ers, showed why he is like one of the most unique athletes in the world in that game, for sure. But he's also, I believe, 17th in the league in like passing yardage and touchdowns.
Yeah,
like,
he's got like 17 touchdowns, 7 picks. It's just one of those years where there's just, I mean, it's either like, Christian McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill, I think, should be the MVP, but it's going to go to a quarterback, right? So, those are the pickings. Dak played himself out of the run. I think Brock played himself out of the run. I think it's going to go to Lamar.
How long has yards after carry been referred to as yak? Is that something that happened over the last 5 years since I've been kind of tapped out?
Yards after catch. No, that's always been called.
Yeah, catch. That's what I meant. My bad. You said what?
It's always been called that.
Yeah.
Always? Damn.
Yeah, that was like a Madden stat.
Oh, wow.
He said Madden yak tokens for yak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Y'all watch basketball games on Christmas? I'm gonna be honest. There was I feel someone tweeted that the NBA lost its aura around the Christmas games. I might have to agree with that.
The NBA anymore.
Oh man.
No one was trying to fight each other. No one was ready to get froggy over the fucking NBA on Christmas at this point. Like, is that still a premier day, or did the NBA just completely like snatch the shit of the NFL by scheduling 3 games on Christmas?
I don't know. I think is something to consider is like, Christmas Day has always kind of been the unofficial start of the NBA where, you see guys, come out there, play, full throttle, play 100%, but has like the in-season tournament maybe taken that edge away from it a bit since we just had everybody playing playoff level basketball, right? You know what I'm saying? Is it just like now are you working on a holiday, because of the in-season tournament? But yeah,
that's what they look like in some of those games.
Especially that motherfucking Phoenix game. Oh my God. Like that was the one game that I watched because I was out with family and shit. So I got home and like watched that. But yeah.
The scores look like they didn't give 1/2 of a fuck about that.
Half
game,
of a
bro.
fuck.
Y'all were talking about
giving a fuck.
Y'all talking about Katie. You think y'all talking about Katie not caring and it's spreading to the rest of the team? I think it's a team thing as a whole, and Booker's really the only leader on their team. I've never looked at Katie as a leader. He's been the best player on teams. I don't think he even when he was with with OKC, he was the best player. But it felt like that was Westbrook's squad. Like, you feel me? To me, it felt like that. With the Warriors, that was Steph's squad. Steph was a leader. KD was just the best player. So I mean, like I don't feel like KD is going to get in there and get those guys riled up. That's Booker. Booker's a leader. Even when KD first came and was considered the best player on that team. So I don't know. I wonder what's going on in that squad to make somebody who loves basketball as much as he loves it not give a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something that's going on within that franchise, being that they were not supposed to be what they are. Is this more eggs? Are those more eggs?
Oh, you just brought the eggs.
Well, I split my eggs because I got eggs and rice, so it wouldn't all fit on one plate. So
you're
just
eating
brought me my
2
other
full
plate.
plates of eggs and rice.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Comfortably.
Respect, man.
Incredible.
Comfortably. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Thank you, Vinny.
No, you didn't interrupt. I'm amazed, bro. We're seeing a master at work here, nigga.
I mean,
crazy.
but my thing is like, I don't think there's any reason to set off the fucking, emergency alarms if KD isn't happy. KD's never fucking happy. This motherfucker wasn't happy on the greatest team of all time. Like, you know what I'm saying? KD isn't happy. He's a moper. He's fucking basketball Eeyore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we could take KD being upset as some fucking, something to hit the panic button over, bro.
I never saw him as basketball Eeyore, but yeah, I mean, that it adds up.
All right. What's going on with the Lakers? Are we not what the fuck? Like, I was so happy.
They're losing on Christmas. That's what's going on with the Lakers. They're losing on Christmas. From all their fans.
We were
They
just
get
talking about how
smacked
these
on
games-
Christmas. LeBron letting the
We were
Lakers
just
fans
talking about-
down once again.
Fucking Jackson's the only one whose mouth's not full, so he can jump in with as much Lakers slander as he wants, you motherfucker. We were just talking about how the Christmas games don't really even mean anything anymore, Jackson, but go off.
Do y'all really think they don't mean anything to us as fans?
They absolutely still.
Yeah.
I think. I just think that shit was a little flat this Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we'll see as the years play out if, like I said, if the in-season tournament kind of takes the edge off from a little bit.
But we looked at the games, like the matchups. There were like a couple that were going to be good. The Knicks-Bucks game was pretty decent. And that's the one where I was like, they're going to smack the Knicks. I think the Knicks was good, but I think the Bucks will smack them. I wasn't that interested in it. That was good. That was a good game. There were other games like were whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to – the Warriors aren't fun even if they're being competitive when Steph's not doing Steph shit. You feel me? So that was that. But yeah, the matchups weren't that good this year.
What did y'all
Put that
think
on Adam
of
Silver.
Becky Hammon's comments about Jalen Brunson and the fact that guys of his height are not typically the sort of alpha guy on a championship team? There's quite a bit of I was surprised at how. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I do think it's a fair amount of it is because she's a woman talking about basketball. But I was surprised at how much she really kicked in the hornet's nest. Everyone was freaking the fuck out about those comments. It's factually accurate comment that it does not frequently happen that the alpha dog on a championship team is 6'2". It's
right, bro. Yeah. The only players in his lifetime who have led their teams to championship that we've seen are fucking Isaiah Thomas and Steph. Now, if you're saying, Jalen Brunson is on that tier, like, let's reel it in a bit. Jalen Brunson is fucking incredible. I do think that history has shown that you don't win with guys that small, right? Like, it's even though we've had a point guard revolution, you know what I'm saying, as of late, point guards usually do not lead teams to titles. You know what I'm saying? And it hasn't even really happened even during the point guard revolution. Like, Steph was the only one of that crop to really lead the team to a championship. So,
and he's the greatest of the era. That it took him to be the greatest of the era in order to do that.
You feel second best player of his era, second best point guard of all time. Some people think he's
greatest
the first
point
best
guard
of
his
all
era.
time.
I mean,
right?
What I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. Well. Greatest shooter of all time. Right? Like, Steph is a 1-of-1, top 10 all time guy right there. But yeah, I think that we can just throw height out the window. Jalen Brunson just flat out is not good enough to lead a team to a championship, and that's not a shot. There's only like 5 or 6 of those guys in the league, bro.
Right.
And Jalen Brunson just happens to not be one of them. It's not a slight. You can still say this dude is incredible, but he won't be enough to lead the Knicks to the championship. It's not a controversial thing to say.
Paul George on his podcast was really vulnerable and said that I realized at a certain point that I would not win as a number 1. I needed to be a number 2. As good as fucking PG is. You know what I'm saying? Like, 3 or 4 years ago, he was the second runner-up for MVP. Like, he's a fucking dog. We can clown as much as we want on Twitter, but on that motherfucking court, he's an animal, bro. He's crazy.
Sneakily the third best 3 of this era, right? Like, it's him, KD. It's Bron, KD, then PG.
And so, like, him saying that, bro, like, yeah, Brunson is a good number 2 guy. You feel me? And you still might not win a championship with it. That's how competitive it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how difficult it is to win a chip. So,
I feel like if she hadn't brought up his height, maybe there's less, or if she hadn't been a woman, like, I feel like that's what people responded to was like, who the fuck is she to talk about, basketball? And then also because most people who watch the NBA are not 6'7". So when you talk about someone who's 4 inches taller than you, he's too short, like that, like people maybe got upset about that. If she had said Jalen Brunson's not good enough to lead the Nets, he's really great. He's a great player, which is she did say he's a great player. Even he's top 15 player. He could be that and still not be good enough to lead him to a championship. That's why I was so surprised. I was like, are people arguing that Jalen Brunson's going to lead the Knicks to a championship? Just like take the height out of it. It's like you're mad for 3 days on the internet because you believe Jalen Brunson is leading the Knicks to a championship. Like, I just don't understand the argument,
The reason people love Steph is the reason they were mad when she said, you know what I mean? Because, like, Steph seems normal. Jalen Brunson seems normal. You know what I mean? Nigga, bro, like, regardless of what she said, you're not good enough to be in the league. You never had a fucking chance, all right? If you had a different coach in high school, it wouldn't have changed, bro. Me too. I'm including me in that motherfucker. It wasn't politics. I wasn't good enough. I'm 5'11", and if I was 6'4", I wouldn't have been good enough either, okay? We got to live with it, guys. Come on, let's go to therapy. Follow me. You know what I mean? I'll give you my information, DM me. You'll get over it, my boy. But no, dog, she's 100% right, 100% right.
All right.
I still can't believe yak has always been used. I'm really caught up on that.
You never heard yak
I
before,
played
bro?
Madden all the time. I just called it yard after catch. Yard after catch.
It would be a Madden stat like in the fucking post game box score after.
YAG.
Yeah, I've seen the acronym. I've never heard anybody verbally refer to it as yak. It was just yard after catch. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me divulge something. I say egg. All right, so
egg.
we're all.
He's an egger.
Did you say I'm an egger?
He's an egger.
We found our egger in the pod.
He's a hard egg.
No.
All right. Speaking of the hard egg, Tommy DeVito was benched for Tyrod Taylor, sending New Jersey into what I'm sure was a cacophony of racial slurs not heard since the Mike Tirico segment dropped on the pod.
Mike Tirico probably hit him with a few. No, old Mikey T. No, the Italian stallion. He probably hit Tyrod with a few moolies, for the holiday season.
Well, for sure, you know what I mean?
Betraying the Italians like that.
I wish we could have Mero on just for this one segment, but I can't imagine it's Christmas in New Jersey and the Italian New Jersey kid got benched for a black quarterback. I'm sure it was generational.
Merry Christmas. That had to be.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
All right. We solved the mystery.
I love at times where he's trying to stuff the rice in the cheek in order to get the pause there, if you're not watching, was because he was adjusting the rice and egg from one cheek to the other so he could speak out one side of his mouth.
It's amazing because it's an audio medium, it's a video medium, and no matter how you're consuming this podcast, you're hearing noises. You're seeing Mike have to like take a deep gulp of his egg and rice to like be able to intro the next segment.
We might not have thought the bit
Give me a moment, guys.
Like the next bit will be we're all gonna lose our voices. We're gonna scream so hard we can't talk on the pod until the Pistons win.
This is very ridiculous.
All right, we solved the mystery of a lot of people have been working on this for a lot of years, but Elon Musk looking like we've officially solved because John suggested that he's looking like a Charlie Brown motherfucker. And Tyler and I pointed out Charlie Brown is actually quite self-aware, which is maybe Elon's defining trait to me is a lack of self-awareness. And Tyler cracked the code of who Elon Musk is truly looking like. Tyler, please present your theory while I eat some eggs. Take your time.
you know, if we keeping it with the cartoon characters, he's Milhouse's dad, bro. Like he can't be Charlie Brown, right? Because Charlie Brown is extremely self-aware, so self-aware that he's like fucking, you know, nihilistic. Like, you know, shit gets dark with that little 8-year-old sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a really sad dude because he's aware of how, you know, life dealt him a bad end. He's bald in 3rd grade, like right? Like he knows shit ain't sweet. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Life don't love nobody, nigga. You feel
me? Right, but yeah, he's Milhouse's dad, dog. Like, you know that one scene where Milhouse's dad gets divorced and he's sleeping in a race car bed, and Homer comes over to his apartment and he says to Homer, "Yeah, I sleep in a race car bed. Do you?" And Homer just says, deadpan, shave face, says, "No, I sleep in a big bed with my wife." I feel like that is the way whenever Elon gets dunked on, that is the spirit of like the dunking that Elon gets hit with. Like, bro, you think you're cool, but no one gives a fuck about the shit you got, and you like, bro, you don't even have a family. Like your family does not even love you. You know what I'm saying? Like you have got
you don't have a family.
We can't even tell you go home and be a family, man, because what home and what family? You know what I'm saying? So like yeah, he's Milhouse's dad to me, bro. Can I borrow a feeling face ass nigga, dog?
Talking about bald heads, I told y'all how my stepdad was in Home Depot that time, and they called him. The dude said his head was upside down, right? Well, I just remembered this, and it's his birthday today, my stepdad's birthday, and his sister, my auntie, brought up an old story that I completely forgot, but my cousins used to call him Uncle Baldhead. Uncle. We was this, and during Christmas we was talking to him like, yo, you want to go to, you know, maybe hit Eurasia, get you the little, you know, special, you know, get you a hairline back or something right there. He's like, be having hair is overrated. I think he's like been scarred from all the motherfuckers clowning his bald head. But I completely forgot that my cousins, I don't know how I forgot that because it's hilarious. Uncle Baldhead.
No, bro.
Oh, yes. My nigga, they were like 6. They were like 6. My cousin went to like Princeton or some shit. Like she's brilliant, bro. And she stooped down to normal humans level. It was like, Uncle Baldhead.
Yeah, just rough out here for the baldies, dog. Damn, get no respect.
Uncle Baldhead, that's crazy.
Listen, look, bro. Love is Blind. Like I told y'all, me and wifey watch that shit. There's a dude on there who had a bald head, and he was on there talking about like, you know, how hard it was for him to find a girl and all that. He said one time, you know, he was at a bar, he had a hat on, he was, you know, having a good conversation with a girl, she was feeling him, and the chick he was, you know, rapping to, who was feeling him, he thought he was about to get the number. She's like, before I give you my number, take your hat off for a second. And he took his hat off, and he was bald. And he said she shrieked and ran off.
Bro, what's crazy about his bald head is it's the same on every side. Like there's no, like you can usually look at somebody's head from the side and know it's the side of a head. If he didn't have a face, you wouldn't know what the front is or what the back or the side is. He has a Lego man head. Bro, he has a Lego. He got a Lego man head. He looked like the Juggernaut by the head with the helmet on, nigga. You feel me? And so that's what's so wild. That's why the nigga said his head was upside down, because you can't tell what the front and the back is if you ain't looking dead at his face, bro. It's crazy, dog. And what's wild is when I was clowning him this Christmas break, touching his head. You know, I'm like saying you need to go to what is it, Yugoslavia or something to get the little special joint, you know what I mean? Get you a hairline. I touched his head, I'm like, this head feels like an elbow. Like hair really can't grow here. There isn't, if you touched his head, you would never think that hair ever grew there. You know what I mean? Like it's impossible, nigga. You have to get a whole new scalp, my nigga. You know what I mean? You're shit. I'm like, nigga, did you ever have hair? It's crazy, bro. Being bald is, man, it's life don't love nobody. I say that. Golly.
I'm friends with we have a basketball mom in Long Beach. Shout out and Jamila Williams, who was on Facebook for like 6 months after the Dodgers got Mookie Betts, posting about how sexy Mookie was, how much she loves a black man who can play baseball, all this stuff. Mookie let his hair grow in for like 3 days.
Saw the hook. She saw that hook.
So you could see how bald that man was with the horseshoe.
She saw the peninsula, huh?
Yeah, and
That's more than the peninsula, nigga. That's more than the peninsula.
She posted a picture from that game with the caption, "Please disregard everything I have said about Mookie Betts."
That nigga got a gulf. That's a gulf, nigga. That motherfucker.
She gave him the hook, bro. Get him off the stage.
Get him out of here, dog. Jesus Christ. She said disregard everything.
Everything. I don't even think he's good at baseball anymore.
Every syllable that came out of my mouth talking about this nigga, bro. Jesus Christ. Being bald, bro, it's a cold game. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Lord have mercy on all of us, man. Sheesh.
All right, that's all the time we got. We hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We will be back. Jackson, correct me if I'm wrong. We'll be back on Saturday with an episode with Jason Timpf. For all you hoop heads really breaking down the hoop.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna ask him to fire Darvin Ham. Give us the rationale to be the smartest Laker fans arguing for Darvin Ham being fired. That's what I'm gonna ask Jason Timpf to do.
I got one more thing to say.
Yeah.
Referring to the best gift I ever had, my wife, she got me some beard balm. Nigga, this is a crash mission. This ain't no real beard. You know what I mean? But to have somebody that loves you enough that will hop in the car when you on a crash mission, bro, thank you. And I don't even wear the Rolex. You know, it make me feel like, you know, I don't even wear it that much, nigga. You feel me? Like, I feel like somebody might rob me thinking I have more money than I have. Sorry, brother. This is a lie. My wife has all the bread. I'm a regular nigga. You feel me? You robbed the wrong motherfucker, dog. I couldn't afford this. All right. But anyway, yeah. So I think
you're gonna
the
have
beer.
to just send. You're still in your sending them to Subway period of life.
Right. Will you take an IOU, my friend? I might be able to pay you about 3 months, nigga. What you thought you was gonna get out of me,
You're gonna
dog?
put your mugging on.
Put me on a payment plan, nigga. You feel what I'm saying? We ain't got it over here, my G. We
Would
trying
you like to be mugged in 6 installments over 12 months?
I ain't got it, nigga. This Rolex is a fucking lie, nigga. So we gonna go with the beard balm.
He pistol whipped you and said, "I need $300 today or in $650 payments."
Catch me on the final Thursday of the month, nigga. And I'll hold you down. But today, my friend. Oh, shit, bro.
All right, man. That's all the time we got. We'll be back on Saturday.
Hold up, Mike. Hold up, Mike.
Yes.
Mike. We got to be accountable. Did you finish your shit?
Oh,
I have not quite finished.
Ooh.
I have like an egg left. I was trying to stretch it out, but John's got to leave. If we can stay for 5 more minutes, I'll eat it for sure.
No. It's fine. You know, we're going to,
it's fine. I'm disappointed in you, but it's fine.
No. He was quarterbacking the whole show and talking shit, right?
That's hard.
He gets that cushion.
Hold on.
It's like doing the workout and you're the guy counting for everybody. You know what I mean? And after workout, it's a lot to ask. You know what I mean? To count and also be, working hard. So, dude, I appreciate you.
Wait, talk for 30 more seconds.
Okay.
For those wondering what's happening as we wind down here, Mike is shoveling eggs into his mouth to try to beat the buzzer, beat the clock, and get his food in. YouTube.com/@Jenkins and Jonez.
There we go. Cool.
All right.
Hey.
Yes, sir. I'm so proud of you, my boy.
He wants you to lick the plate, nigga.
Look. Vinny,
Merry yak to everybody.
Bye, ladies.
Merry Yakmas.
Merry yak.
See y'all on Saturday. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. Bye.